The aim of this tutorial is to introduce the options for setting the heating. Example shows configuring basic items for heating cooling, defining of time schedule and heating cooling area. Follow these steps. In the Project tab, Device Manager, we insert a description of the relays used for heating and cooling in given room. For example, heating living room. Second relay for cooling and name living room. And as well the thermometer of the given room. In this tab we need to set type of use thermosensor and average time for measuring. Then create the time programs for heating and cooling. Go to Upper tab Managers. Click on icon System Manager. Click on tab System Programs. Add a new program. Select Heat, Cool Week from the drop-down menu. Afterwards you can see diagram, which can be used for heating, cooling or both. Fill in the name of program, for example heating cooling living room. Leave or adjust visible range of minimum and maximal temperature. Define all fields marked as favorite 1 to 4. These are temperature modes which can be changed by user. Optional. Define timestamps by clicking on button mark. The application allows you to set timestamps in the diagram. Temperature mode can be set for each column by 2 timestamps after another clicking on button mark. By right-click you can define favorite. If you need to copy and paste all time mark and their temperature modes, right-click on Sum of Days, check particular option and click on Copy Actual Program. Save the heating program by clicking on the green confirmation pipe. Configuring of heating cooling areas. Switch to heating cooling area in the upper menu, click on icon adding of new heating cooling area. There will be one item in pop-up window, called Control Type. Click to select the desired control type. Rename your heating cooling area, for example, Controller for Living Room. You can do the same for heating and cooling regulator. Set a heating and cooling plan. Holiday and public plan you can leave empty. If you use a room thermostat like EST3 or IDRT3, you can assign it here. Then switch to the Online Parameters window. Here we can set maximal and antifreeze temperature, when to restart regulator after closing a Windows, maximum opening time for Windows, and manual mode temperature. By clicking on the pencil icon we can edit the parameters. We can set manual temperature, for our example to 25 degrees Celsius and 30 minutes. We can change the maximum and antifreeze temperature. If you do not have set public holiday plan, delete this item for 1st January and save it. Then switch to the Connections window. By clicking on the pencil icon we edit the parameters. We need to set thermometer sensor and critical thermometer sensor, heating output, and cooling output. Save it and switch back to the parameters. Here you need copy a description to the alias and checked add to iNELS 3 export. Next, switch to the heating regulator, to the online parameters. In this window, in online parameters, we can change hysteresis. This is the range represented by value added to required temperature and preventing from frequent switching of heating output supply. And critical temperature. This field have set default value called not configuration, which means no limit value is inserted or defined. After saving we can close this window. Now we need to save the project to the local disk with your description, for example heating. And store project into central unit by icon save to central unit. Is necessary select correct IP settings and confirm it by green icon. Then we will wait for the project to be saved in the central unit. After correctly uploading to the central unit, you can see it in the lower left corner status. Saved project to CU. Then, since the central unit has been restarted, the IDM disconnects. Just click on the connection icon and you will be connected again. Now select Managers in the top bar, then the Monitor tab, and their heating-cooling areas. In the basic setting, after saving to CU, the heating circuits are switched off. To turn it on, use this tab, or the iNELS application, or the room thermostat, or another superior command. You can see that the actual temperature for heating is higher than the required one. So we have to choose a higher temperature in the control manual from the defined favorites 3 for 25 degrees Celsius and turn on the heating. Then we switch control manual back to the off. To test the cooling function as user when switches system for cooling, we will do the same. We switch area to cooling. Required cooling analog output is switched on, so all works correctly. To create a next new heating and cooling plan, follow the same procedure. In the project device manager, we assign the correct names for the relay. For example, heating bedroom. And for second relay, cooling bedroom. We need to add as well the temperature sensor, in our case bedroom. For the correct functioning of the thermometer, it is necessary to set the correct type of sensor connected to the iNELS unit and average time. Close this window, and by switching from Design to the Simulation tab, we are switched as well to the Manager section. Here we choose System Manager, where, in System Program, by clicking on the green plus, we create a new week program for the bedroom. Enter the name, Heating Bedroom. Set the favorite temperatures in the Favorites 1 to 4 tabs, as in the previous case, as well as the maximum and minimum displayed temperature. Then we save it by green confirmation pipe and switch to the heating cooling areas window. Here again, by clicking on the green plus, we add an area. But for a change we will choose automatic control to temperature. Again, we need to add a name and description. Controller for bedroom. As in the previous case, we need to assign week plans for heating and cooling. And copy description to alias for using an iNELS 3 export file. And check field add to iNELS 3 export. In Online Parameters tab, by clicking the pencil icon, we set manual temperature and delete 1st January. Then we need to confirm it by green pipe. By switching to the Connection tab and by clicking the pencil icon, we assign thermosensor and critical temperature sensor. We can select the same sensors. Then we select the relay for bedroom heating and relay for bedroom cooling. Confirm and save this bedroom area by clicking on the green pipe, and close this window. We need to save the project again to the local disk, and save to the central iNELS unit. Again, choose correct IP address setting, and confirm it. After correctly uploading to the central unit, you can see it in the lower left corner status, Saved Project to CU. Then, since the central unit has been restarted, the IDM disconnects. But again, just by click on the red connection icon, you will be connected again. Then we can check in the monitor how the relays work in the heating cooling areas. By switching control input from stop to start, We turn on individual areas. In the living room, we see a lower required temperature than actual. Therefore, the relays for heating are switched off. If we switch Control HC input to cooling, the relays for cooling unit will switch to on. In the bedroom, which is controlled by central unit, it is enough to raise the desired temperature to favorite 4. And the central unit, as you can see on relays for heating, starts heating automatically. We can close this window. See the control of these two areas in the application.